The federal government has extended the second phase of ease of lockdown for another 4 weeks, effective from Tuesday, June 30, 2020. Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Bas Mustafa, at Monday's briefing in Abuja, also announced a conditional lifting of the interstate travel ban with effect from the 1st of July 2020. Mitari Ikme reports.
For the next 4 weeks of the extended easing of lockdown, measures and guidelines approved by President Buhari include retention of the overnight curfew nationwide, permission of interstate travel and movements only outside curfew hours from 1st of July, resumption of domestic flights as soon as possible, while the ban on mass gatherings and sporting activities remains. Schools are to remain closed except for safe reopening for graduating primary and secondary classes to prepare and take examinations. Government workers and worship centers are to continue with existing guidelines, while persons without face masks will be denied entry into public places. The Presidential Task Force explained that some of the restrictions were retained due to ongoing community transmission of COVID-19.
We also expect transporters to arrange for crowd control. Buses should have a maximum of 50% capacity. For bus trips, we strongly urge windows to be kept open, particularly for short trips, and face mask is mandatory. State governments, through their commissioners of transport, shall undertake inspection of facilities and confirm compliance as a precondition to resumption of interstate travel.
Relevant MDAs, including education, transportation, and aviation, will respectively consult further with stakeholders and issue guidelines for their sectors.
While state governments are encouraged to enforce the latest measures and intensify contact tracing for COVID-19, the Presidential Task Force says it will continue to provide technical support to states as part of the One National Response Strategy. Traditional rulers and religious leaders, as well as civil society groups, are also urged to raise public awareness on the danger posed by COVID-19.
For now, no cure, no vaccine, no drugs. So what do? Let's comply with these non-pharmaceutical interventions.
Overall, what we are trying to do is to put out the small fires across the country, rather than trying to fight a raging fire across the whole country, which will be very difficult and will also be damaging economically for us.
While some restrictions have been conditionally lifted, others have been sustained for the next 4 weeks. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, however, warns that taking personal responsibility is crucial to containing the spread of the pandemic. In Abuja, Mitari Ikme, NTA News.
Now to update on COVID-19. 566 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded in Nigeria on Monday, 29th of June, in the figures released last night by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. Lagos State recorded the highest with 166 cases, Oyo had 66, Delta 53, Ebonyi 43, while Plateau had 34 cases. Other states on Monday's list include Ondo with 32 cases of the virus, FCT 26, Ogun 25, Edo 24, Imo 15, Bayelsa 13, Benue 12, while Gombe, Kano and Kaduna had 11 cases each. Osho State recorded 8 cases, Nasarawa had 7, Borno has 5, while Katsina and Anambra recorded 2 cases each. So far, 25,133 cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Nigeria, with 9,402 discharged cases and 573 deaths recorded. In other news, the Northeast Development Commission has inaugurated the first and only modular laboratory in the Northeast, situated in Bauchi. The government of Bauchi State provided the structure, while the Northeast Development Commission provided the testing equipment. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports.
The molecular laboratory is one of the numerous interventions to Bauchi State government by the Northeast Development Commission since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in the state. Apart from COVID-19 tests, the molecular laboratory will also carry out tests on other contagious diseases.
This NCD accredited COVID-19 testing laboratory will provide the capacity of the state to contain the pandemic, and that the facility will be optimally used and better still, even upgraded by the state government to include the diagnosis of other important diseases it has not tested in the state. Going forward, the Commission will continue to synergize with the state government and other stakeholders in the region in implementing its robust program.
It is pertinent to note that the NCDC has declared this laboratory as one of the best in the country, with a capacity to perform up to 300 tests per day. My administration will remain committed towards provision of quality health care to the people of Bauchi State.
Having been certified by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the laboratory is expected to serve as a testing center for states in the Northeast. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
Now to employment generation, the State Selection Committee for the recruitment of 774,000 Nigerians across the country for employment as approved by President Muhammadu Buhari has been inaugurated by Minister of State Labour and Employment Festus Keyamo in a virtual meeting. Kenneth Nanim reports that the committee members have 3 weeks to compile names of prospective beneficiaries.
The 774,000 semi-skilled and unskilled persons to be recruited implies that each local government area of the country will have 1,000 beneficiaries engaged in the public work scheme between October and December this year. These categories of unemployed persons will render services in sanitation, health extension, housing construction, road rehabilitation, and other sectors of the economy.
You must therefore see this task as a serious, patriotic, national assignment. This program can rightly be described as one of President Muhammadu Buhari's many star programs for the lowly, weak, and vulnerable in our society. In fact, this program is Mr. President's baby.
The selection committee members are urged to ensure women and the physically challenged persons are not left out in the exercise. The Minister of State Labour and Employment was emphatic on due diligence in bridging unemployment gap in the rural communities, especially in this COVID-19 era.
After the selection of those to be engaged, they still have to be captured by some selected banks we're in talks with. Their accounts opened and their BVNs obtained. They will be paid a total of 60,000 naira for the 3 months. That is 20,000 naira per month.
Joseph Afolabi from Kogi State, on behalf of the state's selection committee members nationwide, pledged commitment to the success of the program. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
In up to political matters, the All Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Committee has been inaugurated. Chairman of the committee and Governor of Yobe State, Mai Mala Buni, assured of a leadership that will practically demonstrate the desire of APC to create a prosperous future for the nation. Saliu Abdullahi tells us more.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the All Progressives Congress.
The 13 wise men chosen across the 6 geopolitical zones during the last National Executive Committee meeting taking oath of office. They are expected to provide a new leadership to the All Progressives Congress. Chairman of the committee, Mai Mala Buni, a 2-time National Secretary of APC, said the party, which is built on strong ideology with experienced politicians, will open a new chapter in line with the committee's agenda and resolve all crises through intra-party peace-building mechanism. Members of the committee, he assured, are capable of the task ahead.
As this party trusted by Nigerians and voted massively for 2 times in a row, we must shun away from any attempt to distract us from delivering the dividend of democracy to Nigerians. What happened to us as a party in the last few months is not totally strange in a big political party such as the All Progressives Congress I urge all party members to heed to the appeal by our leader, President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, on his call to all aggrieved members who have instituted various cases in the courts to please withdraw such cases in the interest of our great party.
The 13-member Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Committee is also expected to build sustainable peace among members within 6 months. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that's Panorama today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Good afternoon.